Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Hoop Hogs video mailbag. I'm Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas and the pod at the Palace. What is this thing? Essentially, you ask me an Arkansas basketball-related question, and I answer it every single day, and it's been a lot of fun. So let's jump right into it and see what we have today. Our question comes from Casey Hook. Appreciate you, Casey. It says, how much do these exhibitions and early marquee matchups impact the freshmen, especially in terms of their readiness for big road games and tournament environments? It's huge. There's absolutely a huge benefit to this, particularly for the young guys, for the entire team, honestly. But yeah, for the young guys, no doubt about it. Let's start with this tournament environments. I love the idea of playing all these neutral sites because for all intents and purposes, an NCAA tournament game it's a neutral site game. And they're in a lot of these types of arenas that Arkansas is going to be playing in, like maybe the exact arenas that they could be playing in NCAA tournaments. I'd have to look at the sites, but if you think about T-Mobile in Kansas City, Madison Square Garden, where else are they going? American Airlines, they're all over the place here. Maybe are they playing at Dickies Arena for the TCU exhibition? Maybe that's the case. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. But at any rate, those are places that you see for NCAA tournaments. And even if it's not the exact location, it's the same type of atmospheres. It's big arenas. Thinking about the NCAA tournament travels I've been on, they either play at hockey rinks or NBA arenas or whatever. So it's going to give you a feel for that type of environment, that type of atmosphere, those type of backdrops and everything, and the neutral site environment. So I love playing those games, and obviously the competition is going to be really good. I mean, Kansas, TCU, Baylor, Illinois, Michigan, Miami, like those are all teams that are NCAA tournament capable that you might see there. So the more of those type of games you get early on, absolutely the better, especially for the young guys who haven't experienced it before. It's going to be new to them, and they'll get an understanding of what it's going to be like and what it takes to win games like that against really talented teams. And, I think about, that team a couple years ago that had all of those freshmen at Arkansas, the 6 freshmen, the 3 McDonald's All-Americans. You learned a lot about them early in the season. And you talk about, readiness for big road games. Well, first of all, I absolutely love that Arkansas is going and playing this game at Miami. I know they're kind of assigned to that because of the SEC ACC challenge. But I wouldn't say frustrated, but I wish that Eric Musselman would have played a true road game in the non-conference. That way your first experience in a true road environment wasn't at Auburn in the jungle in SEC play, because sometimes they didn't react to that very well. And so you'd like to see them get tested a little bit more on the road out of the gates. So I'm glad that Arkansas is in a position where they have to do that this year. It'll be interesting to see if Coach Calipari does it moving forward. But there's also something to be said for how you travel. It's not just going on the road and playing in somebody else's gym, but it's how you handle the travel. It's the change in routine, the preparation of the day, your focus, and then your mental toughness to be in a new environment and play against people who are booing you instead of cheering for you. So there's a lot that goes into that. And yeah, the older you are, like Nelly Davis has been there, done that. Jonas Adu has been there, done that. Boogie and Carter Knox and Billy Richmond, who are going to be big parts of this team, they haven't experienced that yet. So it's going to be important for them. I like that Arkansas is going to go play, and I don't know if it's a true road game or not, but this exhibition with TCU, you got to travel. You got to go stay in a hotel, do the team meals, do the shoot-arounds and all that. So it's not brand new to you when you go and experience it before a real game. You've already got a precedent set and some expectations there. It's just one less thing to worry about so you can focus on basketball, But I think about these exhibitions in particular, and sometimes it can be fool's gold. I mean, we learned that last year with that Purdue game. It was crazy. If you really think back to the season in that Purdue game, and it makes you want to take every exhibition with a grain of salt, right? Because, Purdue was a team who was a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament the previous year. They returned everyone, including Zach Edey. Like they were far along. There was a ton of continuity and a bunch of talent there. Arkansas had a lot of talent and high expectations, but they were really just putting the pieces together. You didn't really know what to expect from this group yet. And then they came out there and took it to Purdue and won that game. And you thought, well, either Purdue, maybe they're not quite as good as we thought they were because we thought they'd be further along. And maybe Arkansas is a real deal. Maybe this is an older group that's got it figured out. Turns out the Razorbacks fall apart. They don't make the NCAA tournament. They finish below 500, and Purdue's in the championship game. So it was a little bit crazy. But for the freshmen, I always think back to that game where they traveled to the Moody Center and played at Texas. And I traveled to the Moody Center to watch that game. And what really stood out to me about that one was you could see, I don't know if humbling is the right word, but it was eye-opening for those freshmen out there because they got beat by 30. And I thought Anthony Black, Nick when he was out there playing, and Jordan Walsh, they weren't ready for the physicality and the toughness that Texas had. Man, that was a physical bunch. They were pushing them around, bullying them, and Arkansas didn't respond to that well, and they caved and they got beat up on. But they got a lot better for it. And so the next time that they traveled, they played a handful of, mid-majors at home. The next time they traveled was at Maui. And do you remember the difference from that Texas game to Maui, which was just a couple weeks in real time, but how tough and up for the challenge was Anthony Black. He was unbelievable, there in Maui against Creighton, San Diego State, and Louisville. And that's really what put him on the map in terms of being like a no-brainer lottery pick type of guy. Had they not had that experience against Texas where they were kind of humbled, and it's just a realization of, okay, like some of the things I was maybe getting away with in practice, or whatever against whatever, East Central Division II school they played in an exhibition before that. That's probably not going to fly against the big dogs. And so if we're going to get where we want to be, if I'm going to get where I want to be as an individual, I got to really make some adjustments here. And I thought they did that, and they responded well. So no, I love these for Arkansas. Like I said in the past, I like the way that it's structured with the schedule too, where, like the Maui Invitational was really cool. The Battle for Atlantis was really cool. But it's 3 really good games in 3 days. And then the rest of the schedule left a lot to be desired. But if you look at what Arkansas is putting together here, I like that these are stretched out because you're going to be able to measure improvement a little bit better, right? You'll get Kansas, and then you'll learn from that. And then you get another exhibition with TCU a little bit later, and you see what kind of improvement you made. Well, then you get a tune-up game or whatever at home, and then you're playing Baylor on a neutral site the first week of the season, and we'll learn a lot about these freshmen then. How is Boogie Fland adjusted to the physicality that he's going to face as a lead guard at a high major program? Is Carter Knox able to defend at this level and make some adjustments? Same thing with Billy Richmond. So, and then you get a little bit of time, a couple weeks, and you're facing Illinois. And then the next week you go on the road and you face Miami. And then a week after that, you get another shot against Michigan at Madison Square Garden. But you're going to get these opportunities to learn. And then you see what they take from it and the improvements that they make. I like the way that it's staggered. So I think it lines up good for just the continuity and the overall chemistry of the team, but also the growth and the process for these freshmen, because there's going to be ups and downs. But what you really want is for them to start finding their rhythm, embracing their role, and getting some consistency as you get into league play, because we know once you get into league play in the SEC, it's a grind night in and night out. Freshmen tend to hit there's a different learning curve for all of them in terms of the game slowing down for them, and just kind of getting used to the physicality that's required. And then in other cases, you see guys who hit a wall as a freshman, and then how quickly are they able to overcome that and get past it. And I think that these games, these tests that they're going to face early on in the preseason and in the early portions of the non-conference schedule, it's only going to make them better. It's only going to serve to help. So I like it. I think it's a good question, and it's going to be something that's going to be fun to follow. So appreciate you for that, Casey. And hey, appreciate everybody for the interaction and the engagement. If you got questions about this basketball team, hit me up. That's all you got to do. On my Twitter profile, I got a thread that's pinned at Kurt Wilkerson _. You can throw your questions in there. Shoot me a DM, hit me in the YouTube comments, whatever. I'll find them and I'll make sure that we answer them. We want to do one a day. We post them every morning at 8 o'clock. So make sure you're following along. Subscribe to our Inside Arkansas YouTube page. Follow the playlist, the Hoop Hogs video mailbag, and you'll know when these things roll out every single day. So appreciate you guys. I'm out of here, but I'll be back in the morning. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with the Pod at the Palace. Everybody have a great day.